we can just do kind of beginning things, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is really your thing. So, I mean, I
Okay.
appreciate it, but you do what you want to do.
Okay. I'll probably bounce around a lot then, because I didn't really plan anything out except for a couple of notes that I have here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll ask if anything comes up, but I didn't prepare an agenda.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
yeah, we'll do what we can figure out as it goes.
Okay.
So it's ready. It's recording.
Oh, it's recording. Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, I'll start out with saying good morning. It's the morning here, unless you're overseas, and then, happy late morning, afternoon, wherever you're at. Derik here, GoldenRule LLC on Discord, Trade Unafraid, and just want to go over some very basic things when people first get subscribed to Trade Unafraid, how to get things set up in certain areas to make sure some of your entries and exits will always be there. So I'm going to go over a few of these buttons up here and then dive in deeper to a couple of things. So account balance is pretty simple. All your accounts that are attached to Trade Unafraid will show up here, including the sim trading one here, which is the back test. First place to start, I think, and others, Lee and Ethan would recommend, is going under your user settings here, and so it'll look like this when you first get in, user preferences, click on trade plan, and then from here, depending on how you want to start, you can trade your brokerage. So Tradier is the only brokerage currently attached to Trade Unafraid. I know they're working on some others and looking forward to see who they get in the future. So you can do Trader brokerage or the simulated ones if you do simulated, sim, and then they have the live data source so you can trade during the day on their live data. But for me, I want to trade real money, so I'm on Tradier. Here's my account, live data, quantity basis. I do a dollar amount per trade, but you can certainly type in any quantity that you want. So my account, dollars, and then anything you fill out on this screen here will show up in any other trade plan area that you can enter exits, entry tactics and exit tactics. So work orders, high level on that. It just helps you get a better fill instead of buying, if you're going long, buying on the ask and selling on the bid when you close it. This will help you get somewhere in the middle. You can change these percentages to get closer to the ask or closer on the bid. I'm not going to go too in deeper to that because I have a very high level understanding, and Ethan helped me get my settings to where I want them to be, and I don't want to butcher his great work on what he did to create that. So this is where I have that, just kind of helps you get in the middle of the bid and the ask when you're opening. I trade options, so option filter here, long. I always target the first strike that is outside the money, but you can certainly trade that to the first strike in the money or the tightest spread. And then any option filters that you want. So here's your tight spread, and then you can type in the percent that you want the spread to be. Anything this or less, it'll buy. If you want an actual dollar amount, like I only want to have a spread that's 10 cents or less, you can type in 0.1 and there's your 10-cent spread. Price range and then quantity range. I don't have any of those on. Like I said, I focus on dollars, so it's only going to buy me a few that I want. The options chains, and I just do the front one. I don't do front runs. I do persist if validation fails. So this says that if I hit my entry parameters that I enter, if the price is past those already, that will not enter the trade, but the trade will stay on the screen so that I can enter at a later point if I so choose. These down here I don't use currently, so I'm not going to go over those. So entry tactics, so I have dollars, so I'm going to do, say, $200 per trade. Market order is always on for me, and then from here I want to enter my entry tactics, which there's a lot and I'm not going to go over them. Just going to pick the ones that I use real quick. So I have a loss limit, hit the blue sign, 20%. These should probably all pop up to what they were before because I've done this but multiple times. And then I have green to red positions, add. So if it reaches 20% and falls back to a 5%, it's going to close me out. I'm actually going to change this a little bit and go like that. My next one is grab cents and hit plus and everything I have in here already. So this is just stating at 20% profit, I'm going to take 40% of my position off. At 40%, I'm going to take 20% off. At 80%, I'm going to take 20% off. And then the remaining 20% will have a trailing stop of a 20% from this 80% profit. And then I have one more, which is the MFE. And I think I'll leave this for now. So if it reaches 30%, if it ever falls back 50% from that point, it will close me out. So this is my standard trade plan that basically anywhere that I go to open up a trade plan, I want these parameters to be there. And I'll show you how that works.
Just before you change screens. Okay, yeah, good. For some reason, the video quality was just abysmal at first, so we couldn't read the top part of your screen, but we can now. So good. Thanks.
Oh yeah, and I have it set to just for textability for readability, so hopefully it doesn't do anything funky anymore, but okay.
No, I think it was a Discord thing. I don't think it had anything to do with you.
Okay. So close out of here. So from there, this guy here is a trade history. So if you want to go back and look at choose dates, and I did not have a very good month, but if you type in the dates here to 31 and hit submit, it'll show all your trades here. And then you can break it down by symbol. So for me, it'll show each individual option chain that I bought, underlying each symbol that I traded for the month. And then you could go by day. And then, so each day of the week that you traded, it'll have your results. Template 2, I have some in here, but I don't use that a lot. Probably should be easier for tracking purposes, but I'll show you where that comes into play here in a minute. So that's all your trade history, live simulated stores. Like you said, they'll have as long as you remember, you can go back far and search, I believe. Right, Lee? How far back?
That's right.
Okay.
Over time, though, we may add better record keeping, so there may be more records recently than there are going further back.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So now how do you enter a trade plan for what you want to trade for that particular day? So we go here on this button, open up trade plan form is one way to do it. So we'll start there. This is where you store your templates, which is where that came in on the results side of checking your trade history. So for me, I do strat trading. So I have, the rev strats, the 2-2 reversals, inside ups, and then I added a 3 2 down 2 up kind of reversal. I don't think it's really the strat, but same kind of concept because it has a 2-2 reversal on the end of it, just a different setup. So for me, I'm gonna go long, and for today, let's do PDD is the one I want to trade. I'm gonna leave it at the front contracts here, make sure that I'm still on live, my account. And then here's all those entry that I picked up in the preferences. Everything shows up here, so I don't have to add anything that I don't want.
Unfortunately, everything is so blurry, it's unreadable right now. So, I don't know. Well, it'll probably pop into focus after you've gone through it. So we may just have to scroll back up.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe I can wait a second. Let me know when it gets clear.
It took a long time on the other screen, so I don't want to hold you up, but I may ask you to scroll back up to it.
Okay. just do that. So I'm going to, for PDD, I have in my side, it's an inside up. So I'm going to have a break price. There's an easier way to do it on the weekend sides that Ethan wants me to use often, but I don't. I like seeing the price on the screen, and I'll show you why. So if that breaks 47, I want the trade to enter $200 worth of the first option strike outside the money. So from there, I could save this as name it as a weekly, I'll do like this will be PDD weekly inside up. So I save that, and then it'll be on my drop-down list, and I have some others in here. So then I just hit create trade plan, and then it's over here waiting, armed, and it's waiting for the market to open and for that specific price trigger to break, and then it'll buy whatever $200 is worth. Sometimes it's slightly over 200 depending on the price, but typically you're going to be less than 200 because it's very hard to get that exact dollar amount. So let's enter a couple more, just because some of the news that came out over the weekend on the Chinese stocks. I'm going to do a couple of those that are on my trade plan. So I have JD, which for me is a
things. It just came into focus, so we can read now.
Okay. All right. Since things are in focus, so this trade plan form, if I scroll down, and hopefully it doesn't blur out, but everything that I entered in on the preferences page shows up here on this trade plan. This wasn't here, but all of these dollar amounts and exit things will show up, and they'll be there until you change them. So I'm entering JD trade plan, and I want this, what this goes over 64.56, and everything else is the same, $200 worth outside the money. And then I can save this one as JD Rev Strat Up and hit save. Create trade plan. And just because I want to, so if I want to go short, it's very simple. I just click that. And I'm going to do, I don't have too many short ones, but let's do, I don't think it'll do, but let's try NVIDIA. I have that as a 2-2 reversal down for the week. So if that price breaks below 262.67, I don't know if $200 is going to be enough on those contracts or not, but let's just see if it does. So then save this as NVIDIA to reversal down. Oops, spell it right. Reversal down. Save. Hit create trade plan. And let's just start with those three for now. Close that. And then those three trade plans are here, all armed, waiting for the market to open. You can pause these here like this, and that will unactivate them at the time they're paused. So even if this price breaks, it won't enter the trade. But so I'm just going to leave them active and see what happens. Where else can you enter a trade plan? For me, I hit this green button here, and this pulls up a quick trade plan list. I usually have a couple of them open. And then if you scroll down, you can see everything from the preferences is still here. I use this. So if I have a couple other long ideas, like Baba is a long idea. So I'll just type in some names here. Another short idea that I have, so click on short, is Open Technologies. So then you can see, here's the filter options, chains, numbers for those strikes, and going long or short. So I'll usually leave a couple of them open like this. And if I like a setup, all you do is you click just open short, open long, and it'll immediately market order you in based on, it'll try to do the work orders though. Those settings that I had, it'll try and get me somewhere in the middle if it can. Also, you can keep it long and short. Like if you trade the SPY frequently, that way you can just easily click both of these and it'll do either one. But from here also too, I guess you could do, so you could type in your break price. So for me, this is 118.95, and then you can hit create trade plan from here, and it'll pop up on your armed list, and still keep it down here so that you can always change this into, whatever else you want, long and short. So it's a quick way to trade, and also kind of a good way to have a watch list because you can have multiple of these open and make sure you have your direction selected. And then you could just type in the tickers you want. And then for me, they kind of stay on my screen if I scroll up. So then I can just quickly click on these as they, have a setup that I like. I have Thinkorswim running on a separate screen that has all these tickers up on a 15-minute time frame that I watch. I don't typically trade anything lower than that for triggers. And so if something happens, I can quickly click on one of these buttons and it'll go. If you don't like it anymore, hit cancel. It disappears and is no longer an issue on something that could possibly put you in a trade. So we're 2 minutes from the open. I have a few of these in here that I like, and I'll just kind of sit and watch. If anyone has questions, I'll take those now. But so I just sit and wait and see what happens.
I do have a question for you about the fact that you saved these trade plans with the specific name. Do you do that like so that it's active through the week and then you get rid of them at the end of the week?
Yeah, exactly. So, I should. So my trade plan is usually just trade the weekly trade price. Sometimes I get in that issue of over trading and I do something more than that, and that's usually when I fail. But this way that they're there, so these trade plans will all disappear at the end of the day unless they're still open for whatever reason, and then it'll carry over to the next day. But typically, based on what I have set up here in these exit tactics, nothing should stay overnight unless it's just a phenomenal bull run all day long. I have pretty tight stops based on percentages with options, and we can know those can move quick. So I should be stopped out before the end of the day, no matter what. And then, so when that happens, I can just quickly come back in and say, okay, today's Tuesday, and PDD is below my entry price again, so I can just quickly click on that, hit load, then everything is still here, and then hit trade plan, Tuesday morning, and let it run its thing again. Now, hopefully you heard the bell. So we're open. And we'll just see if something happens.
Do you watch the charts on Thinkorswim?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Just all my price levels are marked on there, so it's easier for me to watch on there. So yeah, each one of these had its own charts. Let's change this to 15 minutes and see. So there's the blue price, blue line. That's the entry setup for NVIDIA to go short. 15-minute here. And the nice blue line, you can barely see it up top, but that's for PDD. If it breaks that, we're going to go long. And let's see.
I see you have two option configs flashing, and I have to confess I've never seen that.
I have not seen that either because I usually don't have these open. No, dollar amount.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking if you have OTM1, then there shouldn't be a problem, but they're all priced too high for your budget. Gotcha.
Yep. So nothing will maybe happen, which is fine. I mean, everything is currently going the other direction.
Yeah.
Which everything gapped up. All those Chinese stocks that I have on my list, they all gapped up. So I'm not surprised that they're falling back down right now.
Right.
So I'm gonna have JD, and then let's do this one. Yeah, just click on that. So when you select an option price that's not outside the money one or inside the money one, if you have that radio button selected, it will not buy that option strike. So what you want to do is click on this tightest spread, and that way it'll buy this specific option chain that you want. And I picked that one just because it's actually going to let me buy it if I so choose to. So like,
if we're going to make a habit of this, I'm going to have to pay Discord for, I think, better video service. Because like everything was fine, and then you brought up the option chain and it was blurry, and now that it's gone, that same part of the screen is blurry. Actually, almost the whole screen is blurry. So
really?
yeah, it's definitely they are throttling the video, but
Okay.
it's a free server, so that
Right.
makes sense. Wow,
And I don't know if it helps, on my end, I have, Thinkorswim running, so that's a, intensive system usage. So
it is. But I don't think that's the cause of this. I'm pretty sure this is Discord, it even said 5 frames per second. But
I wonder, let me see if there's a way. I don't want my. Okay. Well, because on my end too, I can see what I'm sharing, and it looks pretty fine now.
it's still blurry on my end.
Okay.
So interesting. So you can see your screen as you're transmitting it, and it's not blurry, huh?
It is not.
Okay.
But whether that's true or not, I'm not really sure. All right, well.
It's unfortunate that I'm recording.
Well, if I was recording it, maybe it was going to do the same thing. But.
Well, anyway, everything you went through was really, really enlightening. It's great to see somebody else's, techniques and their habits. So that was really good stuff. And everything just got sharp.
Good. So you can see, here's my 3 trade plans and the charts of action price going on.
Yep.
Blue line, which you probably couldn't see before.
No, well, actually, everything was fine until you brought up the option chain, and that's when it became fuzzy again.
All right, so
what's your JD break price? Are we getting close?
64.
Oh, okay.
I had an early entry at 61.75 that it did break below and then go back up, but because of the gap, I wanted to not worry about that.
Right.
So I've been trying to figure out the best way to trade the gaps like this, and sometimes it's the first 15-minute reversal is a good one to take. So we'll see if anything presents itself, but obviously we got to wait half an hour to get any set up, which is fine. It'll calm the option prices down so the spreads won't be as big.
Right.
Also, I should mention that too. If you have a tight stop loss like I do at 20%, which for options is fairly tight, I think, unless you're trading something with really small spreads. But let's just see. So I'm going to pull over. I don't know if you can be able to see this at all.
Yeah, that's actually surprisingly sharp.
So PDD option chain, I trade the weeklies, so expiring this Friday. You can see outside the money ones at 45s are 37 cents. So 20% of 23 is 43. So we're really close to hitting that 20% if we were to buy right now. So got to be careful on that. So we'll see what happens, but nothing going to look like it's going to break my price as of right now. And Twitter is flying high because Elon Musk bought a 9% stake over the weekend. Oh, 2 million volume on SPY right now. That's very light. Let's see here. I would like to have something trigger so we can see how it functions.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do this and see. Might go blurry.
No, it's actually okay.
So let's try. So the puts there, 215s are within my range, and then we could do the 222.5. I'm going to change this just to give myself more wiggle room. So I'm watching FedEx at gap down, and we'll see what it wants to do. JD is about $1 away from triggering. No, yes, he just jumped out.
What just happened?
Oh, this option configuration.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So this is where having these screens open really helps.
Yeah.
Because I can, if that doesn't trigger and it does, I can pick a different price here quick. And let's just do something that's too far away. 48. I haven't really noticed that before. Yeah, so it just went out. Okay. So let's. Oh, see, that happens to me all the time. Gosh darn it. I clicked too fast and it just closed it out. Hate it
So
when I do that.
you click too fast, meaning
So I entered long and then I clicked again for whatever reason, and then it immediately popped up those green buttons where you can add and delete, and I clicked on the sell one, and it closed it out right away.
oh, so
So that's kind of a bummer. And then down here you can see position. I lost $2 on that.
yeah.
So
So is that a bug?
no, that was just me. I double clicked.
Oh, okay.
So you can see my fill here. I got filled at 146, and then sold at 144. That's okay.
So
That happens.
I guess it's unfortunate that the buttons change under you as you shift from waiting to actually being
Right.
live.
Which is fine. Let's do. Getting really close. So I'm going to click it down here so I don't do that again. Cancel this one because I'm already in it. Cancel this one. And let's see, the option change should pull up. It'll probably reverse here, but that's all right. So we can scroll over. So here's 8%. So if that reaches 20% negative, it'll close me out. So here's that stop out. I think here's stop loss.
Right.
Loss limit. Yep. Now, okay. So oh, that's nice. I haven't seen that before. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but you got some vertical dotted lines to represent yesterday,
Yeah.
the previous day.
Right.
I haven't seen that before, so that's nice.
Yeah, the screen went blurry again. Looks like PDD is thinking about going your way.
Thinking about it. And JD is going my way. It's too bad I closed out of that one too fast. That's all right.
Isn't that always the way?
Right. So I only have one contract, so this is going to close me out up here at this green line, which is my first profit target of 20%, if it reaches there. So that's fine. Can't argue with the 20% gain.
Right.
So there's something else. I have Carnival Cruise Lines on my list. I know those are fairly cheap in option prices. Perfect. I don't need Discord open. Go. So I'm just looking at different charts from my other screens now. So from here, these red buttons here, like as I did before, I double clicked. So I immediately clicked on this 50% on the JD trade. So any of these buttons here you can see, so if you have multiple contracts, you can see you can sell 10% of your position, 25, 50, 75, and flat and it'll close out the entire thing. Or you can buy in the same increment. So these will adjust based on the quantity that you have. So each time you add, so if I add one here, the next 100% will be 2, and the next one will be 4, 8, so on and so forth. And then everything will adjust. You can adjust these down here. Is my screen clear? Is it blurry?
It just cleared up.
Okay. So the red flatten buttons you can change. You can see 10%, 25%, 50%, 75%. Same thing up here for if you want to buy along the way. You can edit these exit tactics at the bottom here just by clicking on the pencil. So loss limit. I could change the actual dollar here to where it closes me out. Green to red. So it'll just change the trigger. I'm not sure if I can change the retrace percent once it triggers or not.
I would expect that to be there. That's
okay.
That may be a little UI bug there.
And MFE, I don't think we can change until, oh, you can. Okay. Yeah, might switch to engage for editing. And then if you need to add something on the fly, you just click here. Then you can add in any of them back in here.
Right, and I would also point out that up above you have the when you're showing the green and red buttons, you have the option of switching to quantity instead of percent.
Okay. And then
yeah, so you can increment or decrement the opens and closes.
Right.
Or you can just type in a number.
Right. Yeah, so you do that here. Mark it if you want to
right.
Buy to open, sell to close here. Or if you got a specific limit amount in your head, sell one, $3 or whatever, hit sell to close. And then that order, won't show up because I only have one, but it'll show up down here. And then you can close them out by hitting that button here, and that'll get rid of that limit order.
Right. And you could also change the price of that target order.
Right. Just click on here, type in 2.
Yeah.
And then it changes.
So I know you went through sort of an evolution of, how you were applying Trade Unafraid to your trading. Can you, is there anything that you can talk about there? Anything you learned or, trials and tribulations?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. So never really thought about, being your own algo per se, which Trade Unafraid helps you do. I will say, Trade Unafraid is not going to make you, isn't really the answer to becoming a better trader by itself, because it still has human input. And because you can take over at any time, your emotions can get in the way. And so if you're a bad trader and you do, have bad discipline and make poor decisions based off emotions, Trade Unafraid will certainly let you do that, and it will, make you a bad trader. But what it does, and for me, I started out trying to immediately set something that, I could set it and forget it and it would work, 100% of the time, and found that that's really not the case, and just needed to focus on the type of trader that I wanted to be and do with the setups that I like and trade a lot. And then from there, create, these trade plans off of what I found on my own data, on my own researching. And then, wasn't able to do some of it right away because everything was a profit percentage base for me. And initially, Trade Unafraid, I couldn't take profit at 20%. I had to type in the actual dollar amount of the 20%. So, if I bought them in at $1, I would have to type in 1.2 here, and then I could do my percent taken off, I think. So Trade Unafraid is evolving always, which is very, very nice. And you guys take great input from the users and try to incorporate things that make sense that will benefit everyone, which is nice. So it was just about finding your thing and what you do and finding a way for Trade Unafraid to help you do that in an efficient way. I believe I found that, except, I step in the way too much. So results sometimes are good with that, and sometimes bad. But I have a system that if I just let it go and do its thing, Trade Unafraid will definitely help me be better if I can just not step in and click these red buttons and green buttons when I shouldn't.
Do you find that that's always true? That anytime you mess with your trade plan, it hurts you? Or, I mean, surely there are times when, you actually end up benefiting from that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, absolutely. But based on what I've seen after looking at results at the end of the week, I would say the majority of the time, if I just would not touch it, I would be much better off after, something triggered and I entered the trade.
Yeah.
If I just leave it alone, I would be better off.
Would you be, because I've thought about this, should we add a mode where you're really not able to mess with it? Would that be helpful? Or would that just be too much of a nanny state kind of approach to trading?
I lean probably towards the second side of that. Obviously, there are times when being able to do something quickly and, step in and not let the trade plan fully do its thing. So if some news comes out, and you're able to close it out, if you're in profit and close it out for something little, as things are quickly reversing, I think that's nice. But so I don't know. Yeah, I can see both sides. For me, if I can't average down and buy more into a losing trade, that would drastically help me.
Yeah.
But there's times where things reverse and, the whole day is looking good and the market's looking good, that, averaging down sometimes does work if the setup replaces. So, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn between that.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I've been wanting to do for a long time is track manual actions as part of the analytics so that you could actually see, looking back, how often your manual actions benefit you versus when they hurt you. And I think that, that kind of analysis might really help with, what things do I do that help versus the things that cost me money.
Right. Absolutely. And I think, yes, that would probably be a good tracking tool.
Yeah. That's when I mentioned before that, we'll be adding more stuff that we store as time goes on in the trade history. That's specifically one of the things that I have in mind.
Okay. Well, we're getting closer.
Yeah.
So here there would be times where I'm like, oh, it's going down, it's not going to do anything, so I would just flatten this right now and just
Right.
move on. But look, we're already almost there.
Yeah.
And again, it's still pretty low volume today. 6 million on SPY, 7 million on the Qs. Both up, but
Yeah. They both basically have a straight up pull.
It's really like the pull is really surprising because like out of the 50 stocks I'm looking at, none of them are going up. So very strange.
because
Yeah.
my short plays have all like blasted off in the first 15 minutes right now. So PayPal's up pretty big. Nvidia is still going up, but it's right at its daily average range. So could expect to see a pullback there. FedEx gapped below my trigger and is hanging out between two targets. MasterCard is semi-looking interesting as a long. What are my monitor? Not doing anything. So I'm going to see here if CCL breaks this 15-minute red candle to the upside. I'll be able to buy multiple contracts with that so we can maybe see something with that. Maybe even. I'm going to watch open to inside 15-minute break to the downside, maybe. This will be a manual entry. All right. So down 21 on PDD. So that one, I don't know why that didn't close me out. Oh, watching that miss the inside down on open. I'm going to ignore that so I don't buy into that at the wrong time.
So,
So, Ethan, I know you're watching things, but can you explain why that didn't close out right away at that 21%?
I didn't actually see it. I had my other screen up.
Right.
I'm
So-
wondering if this is the issue we've had about last versus bid. Like, because it's pretty thinly traded, and I'm wondering if it didn't close because last wasn't over the limit.
No, yeah, there's low volume on that. So but to show the work orders function here, so that sell to close, 1.4 ask, 1.2 bid, filled me at 1.23, so a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
We got a pretty good fill on that. 1.57, just 2 pennies above the bid. So that was nice. So that work order feature is awesome. A couple of us talked about it's pretty much worth the price of admission to join Trade Unafraid with just that piece alone.
Nice. Well, I'm sorry neither of those trades went your way. Do you want to keep, like, is there any chance you're going to trade anything else?
Not right now.
Okay.
That open trade would have been a good one, but I was watching the Trade Unafraid screen on why that wasn't closing right away past 20%, so I missed that entry.
Yeah, I see that.
So that would have been a good example of I could have just found the bottom of the previous, not 845 candle and put that in as the break price, but it's not. I'm trying to do better of. It's not my original entry trigger price, so I want to try and do everything else manual if I can, or I should really just not do anything. But I wanted to try and get something on the screen to show these tactics working and breaking and changing quantities, but not sure that's going to happen today.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll sit here and wait and see, but anything could happen.
Well, I think one thing that I learned from this is we're going to have to improve the Discord video to make this a really usable. I mean, I think what we recorded today is worth making available, but to be really good, we're going to need to have better video.
Right. I mean, yeah, or go somewhere else.
Right.
To record.
Yeah.
I guess one thing I didn't mention is under your settings, under user alerts, you can type in your phone number and your carrier here, and you can get text messages. And they are not delayed very much. I was playing around in sim mode on Friday on this hashtag 30 and 30, which is just taking a 30-minute reversal that a guy on Twitter has been promoting a lot, and just so wanted to test it out. And I think I had, I don't know, 12 trade plans up that were active and waiting. And every time the price triggered, or, I kept these same exits in place. So every time it peeled off, I was getting a notification. So, and it was within within a second, I was getting some text message about something going off.
Yeah.
So those are very useful because sometimes, they can be delayed quite a bit. I've seen from other services that have those text alerts. So I don't know if things are just better overall or if you guys have some other system in place that makes them quicker. But it's nice to get those, right after something happens instead of, a minute later or something.
Yeah. I've noticed the same thing. What carrier do you use?
Verizon.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm on Sprint, and I've noticed the same thing. They're very prompt. We're not doing anything magical there, so I'm grateful that it's fast, but it's not secret sauce.
Right. Okay. And my guess is those trade alerts and watch lists will be triggered into those same alerts,
Yeah.
text messages too.
Yep. Yeah. No difference.
Okay.
You guys think Twitter's going to stay at this level? I mean, can Elon owning 9% really hold it up?
For a while.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Let's just see.
This video is so hard to predict because there are times when things are sharp when you do not expect it to be. Ethan, are you seeing the same blurriness that I am when it is blurry, or are you just not watching?
No. Like, I mean, I was watching, and there goes the trade. I was watching for like the first 45 minutes or 40 minutes or so. It was very on and off.
Yeah.
Like very on and off.
But like just now, he brought up the option screen, and everything is sharp. It was sharp then, and it's sharp now. But then you never know. It just goes blurry for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Did I buy? So there goes BDD. back up.
Mhm. I take it personally when that kind of thing happens.
I do, but I shouldn't. That's part of the problem, you know, like, oh, it's only a little bit, I'll stop it, it's fine. And then very easily could have continued down. So
Yeah, yeah.
for me, it's a win because I didn't step in and do something different.
Right.
So these live things are good for my trading psychology, I think.
Yeah, right. It's like you want to do those bad habits in when no one's watching.
I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna try and open an open trade here. 15-minute rev strat to the upside, potentially, unless it blasts through in these last 2 minutes. Yeah, decent volume. I'm gonna change. I don't really want to change that. Maybe not. This one's kind of a tight spread. Give it just a little more wiggle room. Up there.
So you're planning on entering when the high of the current candle, which is about to close, when that gets broken?
Yeah,
Okay. But you're going to do it manually?
I am.
Okay.
Potentially. I'm watching CCL too. They're both potential reversal plays. I'd be going against my thesis on open door, though, if I go long, because I had that as a short idea, but you got to do what the market's giving you.
Yeah. All right. So the candle just. Okay. So you just entered? Yeah.
Yep.
We're back to fuzzy video.
Of course. So I have 4 quantities of that, so you can see. Well, probably can't see, but I have 2 limit orders to sell.
Yeah. We can see 2 rows. We just can't read them.
Right. Okay. So it's outside the money, so I bought the $9 strike. Can open this up 5-minute. So it's only got 323 volume at that strike, so it might take a bit for the option chain to show up here.
All right. The video is mostly in focus now.
And I'm going to change the screen, so that'll probably, let's see how the work orders did. So it filled at 32. That is pretty tight. So
Yeah.
1 penny better.
Yep.
Take it. I will say Dylan's been doing a good job of getting things looking nice. I know it looks like added some color down here to the logs.
Yeah, and also if you hover over those lines, you can see what's not visible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So where'd you come up with the idea for Trade Unafraid, Lee?
Um, you know, I've been writing trading software for a long time, and I think because I know what's possible, it just always bothered me how little trading platforms did that they could. So just little by little, I started building this myself, and then I ended up too busy with my job, and so I was very fortunate to find Ethan, and so it just kind of became um, uh, I would basically just give him my wish list, and he would make it happen. Um,
Right.
yeah, so it was just I always felt like software could do so much more than it does for traders, and so it was just that simple.
Right. Yeah, you guys have done a good job. And yeah, Ethan is amazing.
Yeah,
We talk about that all the
I
time in the
know,
Discord.
I know.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, how's your stuff going this morning? Your 5 and 15 breaks.
I made like $25 this morning. This has been like a really tricky open. I mean, as you're pointing out with like there being such low volume on S&P, but I just like the S like when the S&P had like a straight inside break up, and then every single stock I was looking at ended up going three, and I didn't listen to any of them, but like it's been a very bizarre morning.
You mean three down?
Yeah, they like a bunch of them broke up, and then they all just reversed, and the S&P went straight like $1
Yeah.
without like even a break.
Yeah.
It's just like it's been very weird. So I made only three trades. I'm really just sitting, and I might be getting to a fourth one, but trade desk inside break on the 5 minute candle because the S&P looks like it maybe is like I should say that everything is an upward bias.
Right.
Like everything's two up in green, and it looks like maybe the S&P is coming back, but it's a very weird market.
It is this morning. I don't
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, I've gotten like, I don't want to say unlucky because it's just like my metrics, but like I had a Futu trade that it like popped up like 40 cents and then immediately came flying back down, that kind of stuff. But, that's how it goes, obviously.
Exactly. All right, so let's. Yeah, so just because I always like to check, I shouldn't do this, but so PDD, that 48 call is now $1.92. So that ended up working. Like we said, you follow the plan, and if it stops you out, fine.
Yeah.
JD is not going anywhere based off of what I was in there. So open was close for me stepping in and closing it out because the ask was at 38, which is this first 20% mark. And I know if I would have closed it because of work orders, I would have been somewhere above my 32 cents, probably not the full 38 cents, but we're still going to let it sit and do its thing.
Yeah.
Here's my Mastercard trigger. No, 370. Mm. Baba has a rev stretch trigger on the 15-minute. MasterCard is taken off.
Yeah, Baba is moving.
I have a very high entry price on that for the week at 118. So that was a nice setup, though.
Yeah.
I need to get all my stuff up. Lee, do you do much trading
I
yourself?
I used to trade a ton, and I've been so busy lately that I barely ever get to trade anymore. It's quite frustrating. I really would love to get back to it and, like do it very seriously. But I don't know. It's we're gonna have to see a real shift in this business for me to be able to do that.
Right.
Which I think would be good for everybody. I mean, there's so much
Well,
more that we want to add, aside from just
right.
other brokerages. So,
All right. Well, PDD hit my first target. Missed out. GD. That's fine.
is that a double top on open, or is that most recent high lower?
For the 15-minute,
Yeah.
it's a little higher.
Oh, it is.
894. It's right. It's the same.
Oh, okay. Baba was up $1 from your pick, from your yeah, and I don't know. It looks like it could go for the high of the day.
Yeah, all those Chinese stocks seem to be wanting to go a little higher today.
Mhm. What's that sound? Did you get
People jumping in to the channel.
Oh. Because I'm recording your screen, I can't see anything else. Mhm.
Hi there, Wheel.
He's probably trying to figure out how to unmute. I went through that. It's bottom left below your name. Or next to your name, maybe.
There you go. Now he just muted himself.
Oh.
He found it. So I can pull this over. Just make it. You guys can see that.
Yeah, it was horribly blurry, and then bam, it became sharp. I just seems random.
So this is just what I watch on a separate screen. So here's all the tickers that I'm watching for the week. And then just have a list of random stuff over here. Major indices, oil, gold, 10-year yield. So that's what I have up. That's the screens that I watch for setups.
Mhm.
These are all 15-minute windows. And then someone gave me the time frame continuity, so this lets you know the 30, 60, 4 hour and day are where they're at based on price. So I don't have to have those other windows up to take up space.
These, I noticed those badges have sort of gradations between, so they have like light green, light red, and then darker. How does that work?
Yep. So if it's lighter, so this isn't, the 60 is inside, the days. Well, that doesn't feel right. Hold on. So that's, yeah, Baba's an inside day. That makes it, I can see all of it, yeah. So it's an inside day, inside 60.
I see.
But the 4 hour is 2 up, the 30-minute is 2 up.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So same thing here, it's inside 60, but it's down. Oh, now see, it's FedEx is back and
Yep.
forth. You know, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is calling me. I don't know anybody there.
Yeah, I get calls from every state. Never. I don't answer anything that I don't recognize the number, so
Right.
I just check the voicemails.
If it's important, right, they'll leave a message,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because you can only buy so many car warranties, right?
Right. I mean, my student loan has been forgiven about 16 times, so. And PayPal is going to take high of the day here. There it goes. JD is up. PDD is going. Qs are finally seem to be taking off. Ethan might be getting some better signals now.
Because I just got 2 complete head fakes, so I'm now down 50 for the day. Giving it like 10 more minutes of chance, and then I have to start working.
So there's some thoughts too I have, that 30 and 30, but I've also been watching a little bit the first 15-minute reversal, regardless of gapping or not. So far has been an okay signal.
So you're saying, how exactly? Rather than me trying to guess, what do you mean by first 15-minute reversal?
So I'll bring up here. So I'll make this bigger. Max my cell. And then zoom in. So it's a little, that does not make it better. So for me, so it's inside break. It's not really a reversal because it's still in the direction of the same day. So, but this first, each one of these 15 minutes, so this 15-minute reversal here.
I see. Okay.
On BABA, which is a rev strat in this case, but still a reversal. So that first 15-minute reversal, it's sometimes working. So JD, 2 up, 2 down. There's a 15-minute reversal here.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, MasterCard. Well, this one went 3. So kind of negated it, but you could still take. Nah, I don't really like that as much. No, kind of what I did here with open down here. There's a 2 down.
Right.
Take that reversal back up. So this one, PayPal, inside, but it reverses from its course to go back up to high of the day. That would have been, what? Yeah. Would have been a fairly good trade.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would have got at least 20% there. Whether or not it's right, it's just something that I sometimes watch.
Yeah, so I was just thinking, how could you detect that as a setup?
Well, for Trade Unafraid, you could do time frame continuity, but it would be pretty. And I can't do. That's the one thing you'll probably get to it, but on this screen, oh yeah, you can candle pattern. Where is it? Candle pattern. So you type in, make it bigger so it's easier to see. 50-minute duration, and then I would just do. You just do like a 2 down, 2 up, or a 2 up, 2 down. And it would take the first one or the next one, depending on when you enter it. But if you put it in the morning, it'll take you the very first one. Well, maybe Ethan can answer this too. This will only start looking when the day opens, right? Or it won't look back to yesterday's unless you turn that on. This look back button.
If you click the look back, it'll look back to yesterday.
Okay.
So, but the charts you showed were like, 4 or 5 candles. Would these be adequate? 2 up, 2 down, and 2 down, 2 up? Would they have caught them without getting false breakouts?
I don't know. Because BABA, for instance, if I can bring that back over again and make the screen blurry. So, because this was a 2 down, this candle was a 2 down, and then it would have bought on the break of this 2 up here.
Okay, yeah. So, I guess it's a little bit fortunate that second candle was inside. That's what I'm wondering is like, Like what about NVIDIA?
So this one, you have a two up, two up, two up. It would have bought here on this candle when it broke here for a 2 down.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, that does seem intriguing.
So something else that I watch for that I've talked to these guys about, and this is a perfect example. So prices within the opening range, which are these 2 yellow lines, and an inside break or a reversal break that's inside the range but also breaks above the VWAP,
Yes.
which is this dotted yellow, has also been somewhat of a good signal. In this case, it obviously would have worked. I've been targeting the top of the range for that, so I would have stopped out here initially. But like Carnival had the same thing, but this one just didn't work yet. So I've been watching that closely too to see if there's something kind of hard to do because to set it up perfectly of a break of price and the VWAP at the same time. Because I give myself a little bit of wiggle room. Like, price is up here, so it's already broke above, but so there's some discretionary thought process in that instead of being definitive. So like PayPal was a failed one. Inside broke VWAP and down, and then it reversed. What? Oh, PED still going. Yeah, that Baba would have been a good trade. Nice. Where is open? No. So the first target on open door based on the strat, because you have a 2-2 reversal on the day when it's above 883, would be 925. My target is going to be way before that.
Yeah, look at this chart. 925 is a long way up. The way it's moving.
Where is it at? And its range is 838. 40 daily range of 43 cents. I think we're probably there already. 51. Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, I got a few minutes left, and then I need to take off and do some of the day job.
Yep, that's we've already gone longer than we ever expected to, but this was really good. I mean, I really appreciate the insights from watching you do what you do.
Yeah, and I'll be happy to kind of go over that again and watch when pretty much whenever for the most part.
Awesome.
I can be I'm usually not here until about 8:30, but Wednesdays are a good day for me to come in early and be here by 8 and do some sort of quick overview of things again with anybody new that wants to. So, and whether that's here on Discord or if we need to find a Zoom thing or whatever would work, uh, open to it because I think it's good for me too. It helps keep me in line with what I'm doing. So
Yeah. All right, great. So, yeah, why don't we just wrap up? I mean, I hope your open trade keeps going your way, but we don't have to sit and
yeah,
watch it.
no, we don't. We watched it long enough. It seems to be kind of a turd right now. So, but well, I got the trade plan set up and it's got everything in there that I want based on my data. So we'll just let it run and do its thing. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, so I've used my cash for the day. So I'll be back tomorrow if this one, regardless of what that one does. So
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Derek. It was a pleasure working with you.
absolutely very welcome. Guys, have a good
You
day.
too. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.